We are finally going to decorate something on my island! Hello everyone and welcome back to Karoke Isle. Yes, we are doing 2 videos in one day because I think y'all deserve it since I am back from my month-long break. And since we are doing 2 videos in one day, why not remake 2 locations in one day? Now you might be thinking to yourself, I wonder what locations? Well, you might know the first location from the title, but the second one is a mystery. So, stick around and find out. And if you like this video and would love to see more, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Lurelin Village is like a tropical getaway in Breath of the Wild, so naturally I had to put it by the beach. It is a beautiful village where you can cook, recharge, and stay safe from any monsters. The first thing I started on was an entrance to one side on the little part I had where I wanted the village to be. So I wanted to make a raft because there is a lot of rafts in Breath of the Wild and they are steered by a leaf sword, so I went ahead and made a leaf umbrella to put on top of it. I also got this perfect log custom designed raft from Naden Far Crossing, and I will also link all of the custom designs down in the description. I have a Google Docs of every custom design that I have used on Karoke Isle so far. I took a little break from Animal Crossing for about a week, and during that time it snowed, so it won't really look like a tropical paradise, but instead a snowy tropical paradise. In Lurelin Village, they have a lot of cooking areas, so I wanted to make a little cooking area out of this hearth that I had, and it's so cute because it has a little fishy on it too, so I thought it was perfect. This little cooking area also reminds me of Skyrim, and I love it. Fun fact, this build took me about 4 weeks to finish. It took me 4 weeks because I had gone in and placed all of my furniture before I did any of my paths. So I had to come back later, take all of the furniture out, and then place all of the paths, which it kind of helped me in a way to kind of map out where stuff was gonna go, but in the end it made it a really long process. I knew that I wanted one of my beaches to have Hyrule Ridge on it because I'm not going to have any room on my island for it, and I love that area so much. I think it's so pretty with the trees, and I think the trees are based off of dragon blood trees, which are really cool. I personally think they look like mushrooms, so that's why I started adding some mushroom items on the beaches, and they also glow green as well. I went back to the cooking area and I added a lot more greenery and weeds. Then I began decorating the other side of the beach, which was the actual village area. I got a lot of inspiration from this remake of Lurelin Village by Kiwi, and I think they did a perfect job on it. I placed down some furniture that I wanted, and then I started planting some plant life around. I really wanted it to look very tropical, so I tried to use colors like green, yellow, orange, and whites. Another reason why this build took me so long to complete was because I kept jumping through multiple projects, so that's why it took me about 4 weeks to finish. But as you can see in this clip, I started adding these huge mushroom items, and they are from the Mario catalog in the Nuke Miles section. And I've been wanting to use these since they came out, and I'm so glad I got to use it in this build. I'm not going to show me placing the pathing for this because I kept changing it over and over again, but I am very happy with the end result that I got on these paths. A lot of these clips I was adding so much clutter because I love the cluttered beaches. I think they look absolutely gorgeous and they just look really natural and realistic. I got really into the natural slash realistic look of things, so I started adding patches to a lot of my paths, and I think that really stole the look. I love the pathing that I did for this look. It's my favorite in my entire island. I was also looking through my gyroids since I wanted a lot of them in a lot of my remakes and builds, so I started adding some that look like the lizard enemies on Breath of the Wild, and I think they look absolutely perfect. And then I even had one that looked like a Bako blend too, so it worked out perfectly. I wanted one of the houses to have a little deck area beside it for the villager, so I started making that, and I just love the clutter that I added on this. I think it looks absolutely perfect, and even the nature elements too. I love the flowers and everything about it. My favorite area has to be this little hammock. I added little boots beside it, and I think it looks so adorable. I knew for the other house I wanted an umbrella, so I found this bistro table, and this might be one of my favorite furniture items because I think it's so cute. It's time to tour my Lurelin Village remake. I'm so excited. It feels like I'm on Property Brothers right now. So let's get started. The first side we are going to tour is the cooking side. So I added this little fishing pole area over here, and then over here we have our little cooking area. I added this little carp on a cutting board, and I think it looks perfect right here. Also, as you can tell, there is a ton of clutter around here. I also added a ton of weeds so it can have that overgrown look. Moving on up here to the Hyrule Ridge section, I think this looks absolutely perfect. I love how overgrown it looks over here. I also added a little Kurok on top of one of the trees, which I think is really cute. And then down here, we have this Bokoblin area, and I absolutely love how this area turned out because I love the skulls on the ground here, and also the cute little Bokoblin I added here as well. Moving on to the actual village side of the Lurelin Village, we have to take a little boat trip, so let's go on one. It's time to set sail. Land ho! We've made it! Alright, let's go! Here we have one of the entrances to the Lurelin Village. And right over here we have the pottery house, and I think this house is absolutely adorable. I added a little gyroid and even a gyroid fragment. Down here we have this little rock and even a little custom designed boat, which I think is so adorable. Over here we have the cute little hammock, of course, and I even left a little message bottle over there, so I think that is really cute. Let's move back over to this house because, as I mentioned in my previous video, we did get a new villager, and this is our new villager reveal. So I just had to get this villager because I think they are the most adorable villager in the entire game, and that villager is no other than Ketchup. I love Ketchup so much, and whenever I got her on my villager hunt, I just had to invite her over. She may or may not be a permanent villager, but we'll just see in the future. Now let's move on to the second house over here. So this house was actually my favorite choice for this build because the roof actually looks so perfect. It looks literally like a tropical house. And I also added a pink flamingo to tie in the pink on the house as well. Over here we have the second entrance to the village, which ties back to the entrance of the island. I absolutely love how this remake turned out, and I cannot wait to see it when it is summertime because I think it's really going to look way better than this. I'm not gonna lie, I did get frustrated at some times because some stuff didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but overall, I think I did a really good job in such a small space. Let me know y'all's opinions down in the comments about this build, and let's move on to our next recreation. Yep, that's right. We are recreating the Lanayru Wetlands. So you might be wondering where exactly, and it's going to be in my old tea party spot because I expressed that I wanted to change it into a more Breath of the Wild theme, so that's what we're going to be doing. Now, the Lanayru Wetlands is quite a huge spot in Breath of the Wild, and I only had this small little cliff to work with. So I decided to do one of my favorite areas in the wetlands, and that is this area. I just think it looks so cool with the bone structures and the pine trees, so I went ahead and started terraforming that area. I had a lot of different ideas coming into this project. I really wanted to do a bridge, and I definitely wanted to have an island with like a tree on it, so I went ahead and did that. But the tricky part was that it was such a small area. I was kind of just winging it at this point. I added this little deck area here because I wanted to add one of the enemy strongholds. I added some furniture on top of it that I thought would look good with it, and then I started adding the bone structures. So I decided to make the log stakes as the bone structures because I feel like the color of them is really accurate to the bones. This project was so easy for me to finish, and I finished it really fast, so that's why I love this one so much. And even if I finished it really fast, it still looks very good, so I'm really proud of myself for this one. I also love using these dirt paths now. I think I'm obsessed with them because they look so good. It's time to tour the Lanayru Wetlands remake. So you walk up this ramp here, and here it is. So right when you walk in, we have this stronghold enemy camp, and then you have these tiny little islands that you can step on, which I think are so adorable. Then on the left side, we have a little campsite here, and we also have another step thing right here that goes back to the enemy camp. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like down here at the Kakariko village entrance. So here we have the bone structures here, and I think they look absolutely perfect. And that concludes my Lanayru Wetlands remake tour. I really love this area and how it turned out. The only thing that I would probably add is more bones, I feel like. But other than that, I think it turned out really well. I also love the fact that the water runs through the Kakariko village. Let me know down in the comments what y'all thought of this build and as well as the Lurelin Village build. I personally love them so much, but I feel like I could improve on this one a little bit more. So this is the end of the video. If you did enjoy this video and would like to see more, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I am also still in awe that I have hit 100 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!